Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, super comic David Walliams, supermodel Jody Kidd, and their team captain Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, he's a brainiac, Vic Reeves. We've hired him. It's Rafe. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Well, hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, the minimum pay for a prisoner in a British jail is £4 per week? They say crime doesn't pay, but it does. £4 a week. The average German wakes up at 6:23 a.m. Well, it's difficult to sleep with all that on your conscience. And 40% of people use their mobile phone to cheat on their partner. I use Mr. Tinkle. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Jason's team to go first. What stories have people been discussing this week?
There's a new show called Big Brother.
Yeah, it's really cutting edge.
It's about people sharing a house together and then afterwards their lives are ruined. I like Mikey, the blind one. Only thing is, he dresses up as a woman to be funny, and I think that's a bit desperate.
If you've got a disability on Big Brother, then you're assuming to win, really. I mean, Pete with his Tourette's, Nadia had a penis, not strictly a disability, but it is if you want to be a woman, right? So I know it's early days, but I think if Mikey doesn't win, I will show my arse in Primark window.
There's one interesting character, is the albino guy, Darnell. Apparently, he got involved in gangs and crime in America. And I was thinking, if you're an albino, the last thing you should do is get involved in crime. Because you're always going to get caught, aren't you? Even if you had a balaclava on with a tiny little eye hole. That bloke with the pink eye, the albino. It was him. And I was thinking, what if he was in a gang of albinos? There was this albino gang that used to come sort of drifting like a cloud down the street.
When I first turned on Big Brother this year, I did think the house was haunted.
I like Don.
Don, which one's that, Vic?
I haven't seen it, but I just want to join in.
The other thing was they got very upset about when the blind guy picked up the knickers, didn't they? He picked up some girl's knickers and she said it lacked respect.
Did she have them on at the time?
Well, no, that's the thing. It would lack respect if they were in a knicker drawer, she was wearing them, they were on a laundry line, but she'd thrown them on the floor. If you've thrown them on the floor, technically they're flotsam. Anyone can take them. They're actually, I think legally, they're the property of the British Navy.
Mikey, he's got a sideline, apparently, of selling Nazi memorabilia.
What?
Sorry, we digress.
That's the whole show is digressing.
Oh, digressing.
I'm not just trying to nail the answers and move on. It's not a task.
It's not a task.
Right, well, let's have a look and see whether Big Brother is one of the most talked about things of the week.
I didn't know.
Yes, Big Brother is back. Bullying Alex is now officially the most hated housemate in history. On hearing the news, Nasty Nick went out and drop-kicked a kitten into an orphan's face. Sean, Vic, Rafe, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I guess on the topic of reality television, Lee, that's what I'm talking about, McQueen winning The Apprentice.
He's never said that's what I'm talking about. No. He says, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's how that works. Did you watch any of The Apprentice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I never had my finger away from the button where it was on.
I like Don.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
The thing I like best about Savannah Sugar is he's mental. Clearly, he's mental. Because he brings them together. He goes, right, you're probably wondering why we're at the Tate Modern. That's right, we're making fudge. Yeah, you're probably wondering why we're at Duxford Air Museum. That's right, children's coffins.
It's all part of his policy to try and intimidate.
Yeah, and why did you have to do everything on a weird fax phone? You had to make all the phone calls in the series like that,
using a normal telephone with the loudspeaker function switched on.
It's terrible. It's terrible when twins fall out.
Ray, did you not get a little bit unnerved by Nick and Margaret always, like, hiding behind plant pots, just taking notes? And even when it was something they didn't even care about, like, you could be washing cars and they'd be going...
What were you doing before you were on The Apprentice?
I thought he was the Ents officer in 8.5 Hot Mum. It might just be me. You know, sometimes grammatical things annoy you. His catchphrase is, you're fired, yet you haven't got the job yet. So really, it shouldn't be you're fired, because it's about trying to get the job. It should be, you're not on The Apprentice show anymore. That's what it should be.
You're right, of course.
It's a bit like... Thank you. It's a bit like... You remember Bruce Forsyth's catchphrase was, nice to see you nice. It doesn't make any sense. What it should be is, nice to see you. No, really, it's nice to see you. It's the same
That's why he's
problem.
never going to get fucking anywhere, sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look and see whether The Apprentice is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is the 5th most talked about thing this week. Yes, The Apprentice ended this week. Tragically, due to a mix-up at the BBC, the winner of The Apprentice is going to be playing Nancy in a West End production of Oliver. Jason, Jodie, David, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Hillary Clinton, what do you think?
Yeah.
Hillary
Obama?
Clinton.
Yeah.
Would you have liked to have seen her win?
No, I like Obama, actually. I think he's cool.
Once you've had black, you don't go back, do you? I shouldn't have
I think it should be his new... I think it should be his new slogan.
No, that'd be the second term.
The second term.
His slogan at the moment is yes, we can, which, if I recall, is also Bob the Builder's.
There was something bizarre which made me laugh. In the Washington Post, it said something along the lines of Hillary Clinton gives Obama...
In the Washington Post? Maybe you could spend a bit less time. I better just check out what's
to
happening.
New York every morning, buy it.
I think you might have got the fucking job if you haven't been reading the Washington Post and concentrated on the task.
On the task, yeah, too busy. Now, I said something along the lines of Hillary Clinton gives Obama her full-throated support, and I thought, well, if she only gave that to Bill, he wouldn't have buggered off with Monica. Completely bizarre.
Let's see how many people were talking about the US presidential election this week. Oh, quite a lot. Yeah, 3rd most talked about thing. Yes, this is the story that Barack Obama has defeated Hillary Clinton and won the Democratic presidential nomination. Hillary has been an inspiration. She's shown women around the world that there are limits. It was all going so well for Hillary until that kosher chicken task in Morocco. Sean, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the oil strike?
Petrol.
Is oil and petrol the same thing? I don't know. Because you put petrol in one place and oil in another in a car.
Yeah.
They're not the
No,
same
they're
thing.
different.
Oil.
Oil-
They say we're running out of oil.
But petrol's fine, you think?
Well, are they the same thing? I don't know.
Sorry, so you think there might be, we're running out of oil, but there's loads of petrol left?
No, but people say oil and they mean petrol.
Well, calm down. Sorry, if
How
people
does
are watching
it-
this at
what's
home,
the
don't worry
difference?
about the fuel crisis, because we've got loads of petrol.
No, is it the same thing?
Yes!
Just to clear it up, there is a fuel tankers strike, and all the papers said don't panic, which meant everybody's panicked.
Can you stockpile petrol? I don't know.
Can you stockpile it?
Yeah,
You
can you,
really fill your car
stockpile
up
it?
to
I
your
don't know.
chest. You actually fill the whole car up, so you're driving like you're underwater. Everything's going up. Food's going up. Everything's going up.
Children's shoes have increased in price, and I really don't know why, because I buy children's shoes all the time. But they're the same price as adult shoes. A brief history of shoes. We all know that they start off that big, then they grow to that big, and then they get that big, like for adult size, and then if you leave them in a cave in Holland, we all know that they grow bigger and bigger and eventually turn out as cars. Which is why the petrol is so expensive.
Just to point out, Vic's recently had the bends. In a diving accident.
Let's have a look and see if petrol is one of the most talked about things of the week. Yes, it is the most talked about thing this week. Yes, of course, everyone's talking about petrol prices soaring and the threat of a strike. Panic buying at garages is exacerbating the problem. The government want to reassure people supplies of gingsters and Rizzlers are unaffected. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else have the nation been talking about?
Colleen and Wayne Rooney have got married.
Yeah.
Did you know that they searched all the guests for mobile phones and cameras when they came in? Nothing to do with the magazine deal, but just the Scouse way of doing things.
If you're watching in Liverpool, buy a TV licence. I was there last weekend. I'm not back for another year. Fuck yes. European City of Culture. I came back, the car was up on books.
I've actually never seen Wayne Rooney speak. Can he speak?
Sort of, yeah.
Because he's got to do the vows and everything, isn't he?
He wrote his own vows.
What
Yeah,
did
they-
he
I'm
say?
joking.
They did do their own vows. They both said what's mine is yours and what's
Yours is mine.
is also mine. And I think Clean must have been going.
It's
I mean,
it's
he's only going to get a couple of handbags.
The wedding cost £5 million.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, that was on a Thursday. Imagine how much it would have cost on a Saturday. Saturday, it'd have been 10 at least. Every guest has a little box with a butterfly in it, and at a crucial moment, right, they have to open the box and a butterfly flies out. You see, what a great job for an Italian butterfly collector. We want you to collect... I can't do accents.
No, do it in the accent.
100 butterflies. He goes, oh, I love a collect a butterfly. He goes, what's he for? It's a Wayne Rooney's wedding. You get 100 butterflies, you put them in a little teeny box. How the hell do you get a butterfly into a box?
Just ask it nicely.
Just go,
That's why it's cost £5 million. They got the food at Iceland.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look and see how many people were talking about Wayne and Colleen getting married. It's the wedding of the year. Yes, Colleen and Wayne have finally tied the knot. Colleen is the face of Asda. Wayne is the face of bags of spanners. On the night of the wedding, there was a £50,000 firework display. Unfortunately, Wayne missed it, as he had to be kept indoors. So at the end of that round, I can tell you it's 2 points for Sean's team and 3 points for Jason's team. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Our teams take it in turns to choose a picture from the board and then have to answer a related question. Sean, Vic and Rafe, your turn first. What do you fancy going for?
the naked couple emerging happily from the tent.
This is a word association question. I'm looking for the top word or phrase the public said when we said camping.
David Walliams.
The you.
Are you, Cam?
No. No.
Rain.
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 Right, I'm going to give you that because it's the word most associated with camping is wet. Pretty much it. Yeah. Make sure when you go camping, you have a ground sheet and a hammer so you can dispose of the person who suggested going camping. OK, what picture do you want to go for, Jason's team?
I think we're going to go with, is it Fern Britton there? She actually got her gastric band on there, is that what
You've chosen Fern Britton. This is an audience poll question. We polled the studio audience and asked them, if you had a gastric band fitted, would you keep it a secret from your friends?
Jodie?
Yeah.
Yours has gone brilliantly, Jodie. Because you were a reet fat lass a few years ago. You've really slimmed down.
I think I would. From my friends, yeah.
You wouldn't tell them, you would tell them.
I would.
Oh, that, all right, OK.
Yeah, trustworthy ones. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't sit there in the pub and blab it out, you know.
I've got my gastric band in.
It's like a Jubilee clip, isn't it? It's like putting a Jubilee clip around your stomach.
Jubilee clip?
It's like a Jubilee clip, you screw it in...
He's like a proper bloke. Dawn is like someone's dad. Who knows that?
The old 4x2 with the old clip, yeah, old Jubilee, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, you've got any Jubilee clips, yeah.
Old Jubilee clip with the old hose, mate.
Clip, what are you talking about?
Everyone knows what a Jubilee clip is.
I don't know what a Jubilee
It's a
clip
Jubilee
is.
clip, shut it!
I've been very...
Well, it's like a Jubilee clip around your stomach, but much more expensive.
The same effect if you put a lot of elastic bands around your tongue. Like, your tongue sticks out and it's, like, really tight. You can't eat.
She's in a lot of trouble, isn't she?
She's not in serious trouble, not with the police or anything.
But why are they upset?
Because, and I'll tell you, Sean, because this is something I don't know about petrol and oil, but I know about firm Britain.
It should be on your grave, that. Not suggesting you should die, but I'm saying...
I will one day.
as your
I'll
epitaph.
think about that. Thank you. I love firm Britain. I loved her big, and I love her now, OK? The only thing is, because she advertised Rivita and she did sort of things about slimming, but she didn't say she'd had the gastric band.
Firm Britain, for me, is the person I fancy. You know that sort of person
Like a
you
sexy
fancy?
auntie.
Like that, but without the incest connotation.
So she's your secret...
She's
Yeah,
sexy.
she's the... I've got two of them, her and Burt Reynolds. And the two people I sort of fancy who I shouldn't, yeah.
OK, so what do you think? If you had a gastric band fitted, would you keep it a secret?
I think no.
No, don't look. Don't look at it.
No, I'm not looking. I'm looking at Rafe, who's like a beautiful, dusky version of you.
So we've asked the audience, if you had a gastric band fitted, would you keep it a secret from your friends? Yes, or no?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
No.
No, you wouldn't keep it a secret. OK.
No.
I can tell you the answer is no. 68% said no. Fern Britton recently had a gastric band fitted to one of her stomachs. I say gastric band, it was actually the fan belt from a Boeing 747. At the end of that round, I can tell you that Sean, Vic and Rafe have 3 points. Jason, David and Jodie have 4 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement. All they've got to do is tell me whether they think it's true or false. Let's first have a little look at a clip to illustrate this statistic.
Well, here we are today, as you might expect, at the world's finest department store. You'll be seeing this look and many others later on in the show. So until then... This is one of my autumn predictions. It's a beautiful garment which has these rather strong satin flowers, and I've teamed this outfit with sequin gloves and sequin tights.
Hello.
Karen!
You look brilliant.
Join the club.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a cropped number this time, with a fabric face, you might have noticed.
Why don't you go and put something else on to wow the customers?
What a good idea! What a gorgeously satisfying day this has been, and so many bargains.
That was David Walliams.
No.
That was, in fact, performance artist Lee Bowery on The Clothes Show in 1988. Fashion hasn't caught up with Lee Bowery, but when it does, it's going to kick the shit out of him. Here's your related statistic. 62% of men would rather go shopping than play sport. True or false?
We've been shopping together, haven't we?
We love
We've
shopping.
also wrestled together. So we like to
I wasn't
combine
really
the
clear
two.
what the rules were there, because it ended
wrestling.
really abruptly, and then you never called me.
Is trouser theft considered a sport?
No.
Well, count me in just for 100% shopping.
I don't mind food shopping. Big fan of that. Big
Well, we
fan
can
of...
see, yes.
Exactly, you know, I'm a big fan of that.
David!
What?
You be mean.
I say something to you, is that you do have a stray nostril hair. On this side. Do you want me to get it for
I
you?
haven't
Get it,
even
get it.
noticed that. Did you get a little bogey with it?
There, you see that?
That's a bad boy, that's
No, because you don't want to be...
So what are you going to go for? You're
Yes,
saying true?
Yes.
Well, hang on, whose question was
chucking
it?
at me?
It's
Everybody.
to both. Yeah,
Well, we're saying yes as well.
Fuck you. We're saying yes.
We're saying yes.
You saying yes?
We're all saying yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you the answer is true. 62% of men would rather go shopping than play sports. That's right. I'd have to say I agree. If you ever hear me saying City's playing, I mean Sex and the City's on at the Filmhouse. We're meeting at 12 for cocktails. Be there or be square. It's going to be fabulous. So at the end of that round, I can tell you it's 4 points to Sean's team and 5 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Top reason Brits are teased at work.
Is it because they say, I can work with Prince or Pauper on TV?
That must be right up there, because that would be pretty annoying.
What do you mean by that?
It was basically a dickish way of saying I get on with chalk and cheese.
If you're going with chalk and cheese, it's a dickish way of saying you get on with Prince and Pauper.
Is it because they're still quite new, northern, and might have put on a little bit of weight since the last series?
You're lovely.
Thank you.
Where does teasing stop and bullying take over?
When you use a blade.
If someone had a big nose and you called them Concord, that would be teasing. But if you used it to open a yoghurt pot like that, that would be bullying, wouldn't it?
Top reason Brits are teased at work.
Is it because when you weren't looking, the salesman had dipped his cock in your tea?
I'll give you a clue. It's something that the winner of The Apprentice suffers from.
Not being able to pronounce words?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Speech impediment.
Yeah, that'll do. Good work.
Yes, the top 5 reasons for being bullied at work are speech impediment, accent, dress sense, baldness and ginger hair. If you're watching this, Anthony Worrell Thompson, unlucky. Least desirable car passenger.
Is it the Pope? Because whatever the weather, you've got to keep the sunroof open because of his hat.
And he's in like a perspex box as well, so you can't... Did you watch Connie last night? Oh, forget it.
Right, who would you hate to be stuck in a car with?
A rapist.
I just imagine you going, oh, stuck in here with a rapist.
I can get on with Prince, Pauper or rapist. I reckon Stephen Hawking would be bad, because you wouldn't know it was him talking or the sat-nav.
It's to do with... It's someone that's annoyed a lot of people that drive cars.
A bear. Alistair Darling.
Correct. Yeah, the least desirable car passenger is the Chancellor, Alistair Darling. Heather Mills came second. She's a terrible backseat driver, always telling you to put her foot down. That sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Vic and Rafe have 5 points. Jason, David and Jodie are the winners. They've got 7 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night. See you next week.
On 8 out of 10 Cats, Daddy's Girl, Kelly Osbourne, Mummy's Boy, John Bishop, and their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, from Dragon's Den, Theo Pafitas. From across the pond, Mike Wilmot. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr!
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 44% of Brits keep their socks on during sex? Fair enough. Why would you take your socks off in a car park? The average person will spend 2 weeks of their life waiting for the traffic lights to change. I think they might be broken. And 20% of adults in Britain don't know how to use email, and they work on the help desk at PC World. Right, let's get on with the show. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation, and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Jason, Kelly, John, your team to go first. What have the nation been talking about?
We reckon Big Brother and, more specifically, Alexandra. She's been threatening the rest of the Big Brother inmates, is that the word?
I think it's really
Inmates.
funny.
Can we just clarify things? Because Alex might be watching this. She's out of the house now. I don't respect you.
Did you see what she said as well? She said, I've got gangster friends, they can do what I say. Pow, pow. Like, how old is she? 8. They're gonna get you. Pow, pow, pow.
That's the problem with girls, is at school they never learn a good gun noise, you see. But, like, if that had been a bloke, he'd give it the old... You know what I mean?
I believe the phrase is blap, blap, blap.
Yeah.
Just saying, no one fuck with me, right? Yeah? You'll never be ready. Remember I told you.
What's that?
That's how I roll, motherfucker. It's not how I roll like that. With the bitches in the back. Yeah.
If you were in a gang, you'd be the treasurer.
I tell you what's winding me up though is E4's coverage of the live streaming, and they let you watch them sleep, they let you watch them eat, but any time anything interesting happens, they cut to a break. They start doing the little bird noises and all that stuff, right? And it's quite annoying. There's been a few times where they're like, oh, "Yeah, now guess what? Guess who I've had sex with?" Well, I'll tell you. On a Tuesday.
Let's have a look and see if Big Brother's one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, of course it is. Yes, in Big Brother news this week, Alex has been removed from the house. Alex spent the last 24 hours in a hotel room. You have to clean it quicker than that, love, or you'll get the sack. Sean, Mike, Theopophetis off of Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
What have the nation been talking about?
Is it the visit this week of George Bush to London? Visited London. Gordon Brown, very pleased to see him.
Yeah, thrilled.
Yeah. Well, I imagine he is. It makes him look better, doesn't it? Same principle like Simon Cowell got Piers Morgan on Britain's Got Talent. Says, if you think I'm a smug, self-satisfied bastard, look at this bloke. I think...
Is that Wamia? I think it's just funny that, you know, when I'm Canadian and when our Prime Minister visits, not a lot of hoopla. Like when our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, and right there, I could have said any name at all. I could have said Zorak the Invincible, and there'd still be people watching at home going, yeah, I hear he's invincible. Yeah. Yes, Zorak.
George Bush got a tour of Windsor Castle, and I thought that would be an episode of Cribs I wouldn't mind watching. Just Prince Philip walking around, going to the bedroom, and this is where the magic happens.
Do you think he was secretly a little bit disappointed that Windsor Castle wasn't bouncy?
You saying he's stupid?
That's what I was saying.
That's one of his greatest skills, isn't it? It's this idea that he's convinced everyone he's stupid, and he's not stupid. He's just really anti-clever, isn't he? So he doesn't like clever things.
Like reading books the right way up.
I'm going to go through a couple of things he has said over the years.
Yeah.
When asked to describe the White House, he said, it is white. Technically correct.
That's not wrong.
OK. He said, more and more of our imports come from abroad. Correct. Again. OK. I think we can agree the past is over.
That is fact after fact.
Here we go.
He's a fact machine.
Last one. When asked by a reporter why Osama bin Laden had not been caught, he said, he's hiding.
Yeah.
He ruined my whole entire week this week.
He ruined your week?
Yes.
Oh, well, the Iraq War was one thing. What has he done now? For fuck's sake, Kelly. I was fine with Afghanistan. This is too much.
I had to leave like 2.5 hours early so that I could get there because there was so much traffic.
Jesus.
What a bastard.
This guy's got to be stopped. What are we doing? Right, let's see if President Bush is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed he is. Yes, this week, President Bush made his last official visit to Britain. After leaving office, Bush intends to devote a couple of years to finishing his book. He can't believe that caterpillar is still hungry. Jason, Kelly and John, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
We reckon Paul Burrell has been in the paper quite a lot. Someone said that he shagged Princess Diana, and I can't believe a beautiful princess who was married to the future King of England. She had affairs with a major in the army. She had an affair with the captain of the England rugby team, and she's thinking, yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll shag my fat gay butler. That's what
I suppose who said that he saw the Queen naked in her bedroom.
Oh.
How did he manage that?
He was chasing a corgi that ran into the Queen's bedroom. Apparently the Queen was stood there naked.
It's sort of freaky. Imagine busting in and seeing like 4 corgis and a naked queen. That sounds like the best hand you can have in a poker game. 4 corgis and a naked queen.
What's the etiquette for seeing the Queen naked? What do you do? Do you bow? Do you salute?
I've seen her naked.
Yeah?
On Photoshop. Amazing she looks. She's got an amazing tattoo. It's a full fox hunt coming over her shoulders. Load of dogs across her tummy and a little fox sniffing in for cover.
I can tell you it's not one of the top 5 most talked about things this week. OK, Sean, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
The impending interest rate rises, general economic gloom and doom, rising prices of food. Food's gone way up. Anyone who has their 5 a day now is just showing off. But interestingly, there's one food that hasn't gone up, tripe. It's still a very reasonable 8 pence a tonne.
Theo, you're a businessman, right?
Yeah.
You may understand this kind of thing. Explain to me what's going on.
Well, basically, the Chancellor got a letter from the Governor of the Bank of England to tell him we're fucked, officially. It took a letter from the Governor of the Bank of England.
You know the worst thing about the letter cost the Chancellor 25 quid. It's Ryman's and Lacenza, isn't it? The lingerie.
Von Lacenza, yes.
I've had an idea for you. Crotchless post-it notes.
You see it as a demand, do you?
Yeah, huge.
I'm a big fan of the old sexy underwear situation.
We don't do your size.
There's loads of money-saving tips people are putting out that, there's loads of different ways you can save money, and I was thinking of cut one like breakfast. I know it's wrong, but steal birds' eggs for your breakfast. They're littler, but they're actually quite tasty. And I've started taking hormones, and in a few months I'll be lactating, so that's milk in the morning. Just little saving. And what I do is make a great big pot of stew, really big pot of stew.
Pigeons.
Yeah.
But have you...
Pigeons? What? Well, what'd you say, pigeons? You can't just say pigeons. You've got to have something before it and after it, Theo. You can't just go, pigeons. Is that a good idea?
Trafalgar Square.
Trafalgar Square, yeah.
Get the pigeons.
Get the pigeons. Eat the pigeons.
They've
all gone.
Who got rid of the pigeons?
Have literally gone mental?
This is serious.
I know you've got money. Have you been drinking all day? I run a lingerie shop. Pigeons! Right, let's see whether the state of the economy is one of the top 5 most talked about things. I have a feeling it will be. Yes, it is. The most talked about thing this week. Yes, this is the continuing story of economic crisis. The credit crunch is causing pensioners to be hit hardest. Well, let go of the handbag then, Nana. If you're watching, don't have nightmares. Snatch a bag. Sorry. Fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about? Jason.
Euros. The Euro 2008, the football that we've not been invited to.
Why?
Well, because we were rubbish. Steve McLaren fucked it up. But we... Well,
half the team couldn't have gone because of Wayne Rooney's wedding.
It's hard not being there because you've had to find, like, another team to support with, like, a weird angle, like, oh, I drive a Fiat, so I support Italy, or I've got a necklace out of onions, so I support France. So mine's been, I quite like Nando's, so I'll support Portugal. Right.
Quite like.
Yeah, quite like it. But then the problem is, they've got Ronaldo, who I hate, and I've had to come to a conclusion. Do I like peri-peri chicken more than I hate Cristiano Ronaldo? It's a tough question. Try and ask it yourself.
Bit as well, like they're trying to get an atmosphere. At what point does a grown adult want a flag painted on the face? When did that start happening?
I remember in the World Cup, there was a woman working in Tesco, and they'd obviously let them wear the England shirts, and she was not just in an England shirt, she had shorts on, socks, and shin pads, right? She was stacking shelves, right? And then... so I slide tackled her, right? Shocked. She was shocked.
Let's see if Euro 2008 is up there.
Number 2, yeah.
Yes, indeed. OK, there's one more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
The release of Bin Laden's number 2 in Europe, his right-hand man, apparently.
The way I remember his name is Abu Qatada. which is terrible, because it makes me say his name in a very jolly way.
Yeah. He's been released, much to the annoyance of the government and various tabloids. Got very stringent restrictions on his movement. He's only allowed out for an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon. He'd have to watch a film in, like, 3 visits. If he wants to go and see Sex in the City, which I imagine he can't wait to see, he's out of prison, he'd have to go in, watch 45 minutes, go back home. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next.
Did you see
Wait till 2 o'clock. Don't tell me the story to everybody.
Did you see that restriction? One of the great restrictions he's got is he can't have Bin Laden to visit him.
To be fair, he is a bad influence on him. So, you know...
You're right, yeah.
We don't know if he's actually made it home because he's being delivered from prison by MI5 agents. There's a very good chance they'll leave him on the train, isn't there? He won't make it. They'll just forget about him.
Let's see if Abu Qatada is up there. Yes, this is the news that controversial cleric Abu Qatada has been released from prison. Qatada denied he influenced shoe bomber Richard Reed with his controversial sermon entitled "Bomb Them With Your Shoes, Richard." Abu Qatada denies being responsible for 9/11, 7/7, 21/7 or the bonus ball. So at the end of that round, I can tell you Sean's team have 3 points, Jason's team have 2 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Our teams take it in turns to choose a picture from the board, and then they have to answer a related question. OK, Sean, you want to go first? What picture do you fancy?
What's that fella?
That's Raj Pasu. We'll have him then.
Dr. Raj Pasu has been in the news this week accused of plagiarism. So we polled our studio audience and we asked them, is it OK to cheat if it makes you successful?
What he said was, he said, I didn't really cheat or steal it. He said there was a few copying and pasting errors, which is a bit like if you've been done for stealing a car, you said there's been a few driving and parking errors, really.
It's also like they're saying it's plagiarism. Maybe it was just like bands do it, like a cover version. Maybe he's just saying, look, I think this professor's really great, so I'm just using all of his words.
He only changed 2 words in the book. In fact, he just changed the name of the author. OK, so we polled our audience and asked, is it OK to cheat if it makes you successful? What are you going to go for, Sean?
I think if they're honest.
Yes, yeah, they probably said yes, didn't they?
So you're going to go yes?
Yeah.
OK, I can tell you the answer is yes. 55% said it's OK to cheat if it makes you successful. Yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause, you cheating bastards. Raj Pasu has been in the news this week as he's been investigated for plagiarism. Professor Richard Bentel said he was flabbergasted at the blatancy of his colleagues cheating. In response, Dr. Pasu said he was flabbergasted at the blatancy of his colleagues cheating. Jason's team, what picture do you fancy?
Ooh, I think Amy Winehouse.
This is a poll with a whole question. 12% of people think Amy Winehouse has what?
Some sort of drug problem.
12% of people.
What about 12% of people think that she's not on drugs?
The only person that thinks she's not on drugs is Pete Doherty, who thinks, yeah, she dabbles a bit, but not really. 12% of people think Amy Winehouse has what?
Some of the worst tattoos I've ever seen. They're dreadful, her tattoos, aren't they? I think the only people that should have tattoos are people in the Navy. I saw a guy once who did his own tattoos, and he was a Motorhead fan, and he wanted to write Ace of Spades under his eye, but he didn't space it out, and he had Ace of Spad.
The best tattoo I've ever seen was an older woman that I had a thing with years ago, and she had a complete fox hunt done over her shoulder and down there, and the fox disappearing. Incredible.
12% think she's got pigeons in the head.
You're very, very close with that, Theopophitis.
Nits.
I'll give you that, yeah. 12% of people think Amy Winehouse has head lice. We're not going to go on about Amy's drug addiction, but it's the dragon I feel sorry for. Imagine being chased by that.
Have I told you about my new book?
What's your book called?
Enter the Dragon.
Sounds like something on a swingers website. Are you sitting there going like this? Enter me.
Only in Britain.
It's a good thing Deborah Meaden didn't get there first. Count your blessings.
You're selling paper clips.
And knickers.
Do you design the knickers?
Yeah.
Pervert.
I don't understand why no one's ever done an all-in-one for men. You know, like women have that thing, and it's just to have some poppers there.
They're the most uncomfortable thing in the whole entire world, and one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me in my life was that my stylist made me wear one.
Go on.
I put it on, and then I was like, Dad, look at this. This is the most stupid thing ever, not realising that it has a gusset hole.
You showed your dad your la-la. That is an embarrassing thing.
It could have been worse. It could have been Jack wearing it with his bollocks hanging out, just like...
Are you sure it wasn't just second-hand?
Or maybe it was a shithole and you had it on backwards.
Mike Wilmot there, adding a touch of class to proceedings. So at the end of that round, I can tell you it's 5 points for Sean's team and 2 points for Jason's team. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I'll give the panellists a simple statement. All they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Let's have a look at a clip from Tomorrow's World to illustrate your statistic.
Good King Wenceslas last looked out.
For goodness sake, please be quiet. Go away. We're trying to get some sleep round here.
Well, you can't win them all. I don't know what happened to his Christmas spirit and good cheer, but maybe I need someone to help me singing.
Christmas, Christmas, on the night that's Christmas. I need hymns and happy hymns, seraphims and seraphims.
Fantastic. Sing some more.
I'll take care of that, thank you. All you need to make a bit of money at this game is a computer, a voice synthesizer, a radio-controlled robot, like Fred here, and you're in business.
Your related question, 66% of people would rather have a robot than a pet. True or false?
I mean, I've got 2 cats. I've got 2 cats I don't like. I don't like them. I prefer dogs. But what I like about dogs is every so often it just winks at you. Just, you know, just gives you a little wink. That's because they're content with life. It's sort of, they wink at you to go, it's all right, innit, life? And cats occasionally wink at you as well. They sort of go, if you don't give me food, I will chew your face off. So that's... Your mum's got loads of dogs, hasn't she?
Yeah, she does. She's got about 20. And my dad, she had this room built. It just has a chair, a TV that's on the Animal Channel, then chairs for my dad to go in there and hang out with the dogs.
Literally, you've got a doghouse for your dad.
He says dogs don't talk back.
I have daughters, I can understand that completely. I sit on the shitter for days.
The downside of having a robot is, of course, you're always dissatisfied with it because you always know there's a slightly improved model out there with a better voice. So that's always going to make it... Because we're constantly going, oh, I want the one that doesn't go, yes, now I love you.
That sounds like me. Come here, honey, give me a kiss.
66% of people would rather have a robot than a pet, so you're saying true or false?
We're saying false.
You're saying false?
Yeah.
You're saying...
True.
True.
OK, I can tell you the answer is false. Well done, you get that. Only 26% of people would rather have a robot than a pet. Just like robots, pets have got an off switch, but you can only find it with the edge of a spade. So at the end of that round, I can tell you it's 5 points for Sean's team and 3 points to Jason's team. It's all to play for as we go into the final round, which is And the Winner Is. The most common lie told in the workplace.
Oh, brilliant. I'm really glad you brought your baby in. Oh, it's great. No, we really enjoyed seeing it.
Is it your call is important to us?
Is it someone has been downloading pornography on my computer?
Has anyone ever lied to you? I mean, you run a couple of massive businesses.
Well, not if they want to stay alive afterwards, no.
Listen to the
You're a murderer?
Just for your information, John, Theopaphitis is in Alex's gang.
Yeah.
Pow, pow, pow. Blah, blah, blah.
It's not my fault.
It's dangerous, so dangerously close, I think I will give you that.
Really?
The most common lie in the workplace is, I don't know what happened. Top thing to rescue if your house is on fire.
My mum always had this fear that our house was going to burn down.
It's because you got Ozzy Osbourne wandering around it.
So I still have this ladder. So if there was ever a fire, I could jump out my window and climb down.
You would think that with the money your parents have got, they'd put slides instead of ladders. That'd be a lot more fun, wouldn't it, for kids? Woo!
There's a fire again!
Fire, brilliant!
First thing I'd save, the recycling. Because I spent so long sorting out bottles, I'm not going to waste that 2 hours. I'm not going to waste that. That's coming with me.
You haven't got that long.
I know. All right, there's no need to shout, Theo. There's a fire. Don't worry.
Kelly, what would you rescue?
Probably my pictures.
I'd rescue my photographs, because if the police ever get hold of them, I'm going to jail. It's quite a practical thing.
Oh, spatula.
Keys.
Keys is exactly right.
Keys, yes, Kelly.
I'll give you that, but it is in fact car keys.
I'll take that.
Got the car keys, love? Love? Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Theo and Mike have 5 points, Jason, Kelly and John have 5 points. Everyone's a winner on 8 out of 10 Cats. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.